race is over, and sometimes it just doesn't go as planned, as you'll see in the video. I'll do a full race recap once we get back to the house, get settled and get unpacked. Then I'll have the full race recap, but enjoy the video, what little bit there is. So yeah, we are on our road to West Virginia to do a packet pickup and check-in for the Cabin Fever 50K. We're about 100 miles out, almost to West Virginia. So far the roads are great, and from what I can see on the sides, there's a little bit of snow, but not much. So the rain, I guess tomorrow or starting later tonight, is going to wash a lot of that out. But the downside of that is it looks like I'll be running in a river on the trails. Nothing but rain all day tomorrow. But I will check back in when we get to a packet pickup. Alright, just went through packet pickup, got my packet, got my bid number 227, set up for timing, all set to go. Apparently my number got entered into a lottery or whatever for a prize, and got me a nice little hydro flask for as a prize. So anyway, I'm waiting for the race briefing. It happens in about 35 minutes, so I'll go in for that and check back in later. Yeah, 5 miles in, about 1,000 feet, 16:25 pace, just over a minute faster than my planned pace. So I'm slowing down a bit. Don't want to burn out. I got 26 more miles to go. So the trails could be better. It could be a lot worse, but it's not too bad. Course markings are great. So I will check back in later. All right, just left the first aid station, 8.5 miles. Grabbed some food, filled up my water bottles, and got out of there. And I'm on my way to the second one, 6.5 miles away. And I'm just not getting a lot of video. I got to focus on the trails. They're not in that great a shape. So anyway, as you can see, they're just not in that good a shape. So I gotta concentrate on running through this so that I'm not going to stay chasing cutoffs all day. Anyway, I will check back in later. All right, 11-mile check-in, I think. Yeah, 11.5 miles, 16:50 pace. So I'm staying right underneath their race pace. Getting ready to come up to about 3 miles to the next aid station. I believe it's the Swank aid station, and from there we have a nice, almost 8-mile downhill to Fayette aid station. So. But yeah, these trails are just horrible. I can't get any video because it's enough to record for this, because I'm slipping, sliding. So I gotta stay focused on here. But I'll try to do check-ins at every 5 or so miles, and maybe when I get on a service road, get some video. But other than that, I will check back in later. All right, I'm almost to the second aid station, and these trails, or this service road, Jeep road, whatever you want to call it, is just an absolute nightmare to try to navigate. I mean, this stuff is just rotten. It's mud, it's clay, sliding all over the place. One step forward, slide back 3. Anyway, I will try to get some more video after the second aid station's done. So I'll check back later. All right, so brought my dog out, got her out of boarding. Out here at Mott's, just a simple walk. I'm gonna go ahead and make this my recap video for the race this past weekend. Yeah, it didn't go so well. I ended up getting hurt. I got pulled at the third aid station. I got a DNF. But I wanted to go ahead and make a recap video to talk about how the race was. The race was set up perfect. The team that puts these races on did a great job of organization, mapping and planning. The trail was well marked, both directionally and places which trail to take and not to take. They did a phenomenal job at last day reroutes. Aid stations were top notch. They were great. They had heated areas. The last one I was at actually had a heated tent. The second aid station had a heated setting area in it. But yeah, so it was a fantastic race. I was well happy with it. Now, the part that was bad, or what caused me to stop, was my pace was off because I ended up getting hurt after the second aid station. I jammed my toe in some rock stairs that you see in the video. I tried to get that in there, but I didn't realize how bad it was. After that, climb up. That was on the Kmore Mine Trail, but the other trails, that was the bad part, was it started raining right before the race start, and it rained all the way through till the race ended. It was still raining buckets when I was pulled, and it rained until the last rounder came across the finish line. So it was a pretty awesome race other than that. But the mud, there was clay, mud, there was water throughout the whole trail. That's why I didn't get a lot of the video, was because no matter where you stepped, you were sliding. I slipped and fell probably 2 or 3 times, trying to either go up, go down the descent. So, there was that. But other than that, everything else went off like clockwork. My pacing was on point. I stuck with my pace plan. I did what my coach said, treated it as individual 10K blocks. That worked out perfect. I actually came into the first aid station ahead of schedule by about 10 minutes. So I had that buffer, but between the first and second aid station with the trail, slipping and falling, I had 9 minutes at the second aid station before it closed. So I just grabbed water, grabbed a couple of pierogies and quesadillas, and then left, headed out to the third, which is where I ended up getting hurt. It was downhill, slid more than walked. There's just no really good areas to go. And once the Kmore Connector Trail is called, came out onto the Kmore Trail, that was more of a Jeep road, a service road, or side by side. It was fantastic. I was able to pick up a little speed and get going, made up some time. And then I got to the rock wall, and that's where I ended up getting hurt. So I did a run walk as much as I could to get down to the third aid station, and wasn't bad. I was able to make a little bit what I thought I was making up time, but I just ended up having to walk too much. Anyway, the Kmore Trail dumped me out onto a paved road. Had just over a mile to go to the aid station, so I took off running. Had to walk a couple of times because the pain in the toe was just getting too much. Thought I still had plenty of time to get to the aid station, get resupplied, restocked, and get out and to take off to go to the fourth aid station and then to the finish line. I'd already been running for almost 7 hours. It's like 6.5 hours. So that still gave me I think 3.5 hours to finish the race. At least, but by the time I got to the aid station, I only had 3 or 4 minutes before the aid station closed, and there was no way I was going to be able to get all my stuff that I needed out of my pack, get hydration, get water, get a fresh pair of gloves, because the gloves I wore had on were just drenched. Nessie, hold on. And so they ended up pulling me at that point, and I just went into the heating tent, swapped out as much of what I could, and just heated up, got warm, and caught the shuttle back to the finish line, which was where my wife was waiting for me, because that was where we had a room at the Hawks Nest Lodge. So, but that's it. It's for no other reason. I had to go slow. If I'd have managed my time a little bit better getting to the first aid station, if I would have managed the time a little bit better, hadn't slipped between aid station 2 and 3 or 1 and 2, I might have been able to, but the trails were just so muddy. The hand bridges were slick. I slipped off when I took a step. I slipped off a couple of those, and then they had other bridges that weren't hand bridges. They were just little bridges across creek crossings, which we had a lot of creek crossings to go over. Some had bridges, some didn't, and just with the amount of rain, all of them were way up and flowing fast. But anyway, no other fault. Did my best. I am not upset with the results. I did 22.78 miles. I did it in 6 hours and 42 minutes, I believe. I think it was 6 hours, 42 minutes and 9 seconds, or 6 hours and 24 minutes, 9 seconds, something like that. And average pace of like 16:50. So I stuck with my plan as best as I could. I did everything. Talked to my coach. I've talked to my coach since then, and there's no problems. He's happy with, he's glad I didn't get too hurt. Wants me to report back. Yeah, my toe's still hurting a lot, trying to walk out here with my dog, but needed to get out of the house. But I'm definitely going to be putting that Cabin Fever for 2026 back on the race chart for a redemption run. I still have 2 races in the series. I won't get the trifecta award, but I still have the 2 races to go. 9 weeks to the Falling Water 100K. So I will probably start the training block for that sometime this week. Other than that, that's all I have to report. Once again, it was a heck of a race, but it was raining buckets. 1.5 to 2 inches rain on Saturday by itself, on top of all the snow melt and the previous rain. So, can't finish all the races all the time, but I gave it my best shot, and I'm quite happy with it. So I will check back in with you next. I'm going to set up another training vlog for do a series for the Falling Water. So be looking for that, and I will talk to y'all later.